South China Morning Post, 30th of November 2023, calls for a more extensive policy change are sparked by desperate China's visa-free opening, viewed as a wise economic move. China is returning to its previous strategies of deceiving the globe, alienating most of the civilized world. Following China's unilateral announcement of visa-free entrance for passport holders, which sparked an emotional response from proponents of engagement, scholars and analysts have joined the chorus urging Beijing to implement more expansive policies for additional benefits. They contended that in light of continuing efforts to stabilize its economic relations with Washington and Brussels, two major markets for Chinese goods and providers of critically needed technological know-how, such an opening would be crucial to reviving confidence and trust. Professor Zhu Tian of the China-Europe International Business School in Shanghai stated, "It's the kind of progress that won't lift confidence overnight but will bring benefits in the long run." Beijing declared over the weekend that, starting in December, short-term visitors from France, Germany, Italy, the Netherlands, Spain, and Malaysia will not need a visa. Researcher Yan Xiaohua of Fudan University's School of International Studies urged policymakers to take a case-by-case approach and consider expanding access to foreign companies in agriculture, aviation, payment processing, and telecommunications. "We can demonstrate goodwill and do our part to facilitate exchanges now that we have begun to mend our ties with Washington and reassure the world of our resolve to continue reforms," Yan stated. "Taking proactive measures will boost confidence." Chinese company leaders have expressed confidence and enthusiasm for the recently announced policies and have stated that they hope to see further measures along these lines. Feng Yulai, the head of Geely's auto parts export division in China, claimed that the onerous hurdles of obtaining visas turned off his customers. Feng stated that "We expect our U.S. clients to visit us soon, and we have invited our German and French partners to visit Ningbai in December for business talks." According to James Liang, co-founder of Ctrip, China's biggest online travel agency, the visa waiver will encourage the export of services. He stated that reducing export barriers and promoting trade in service exports to earn foreign exchange and grow gross domestic product are the results of unilateral visa waivers for these countries. It is very economically sensible. More significantly, according to Liang, the action is consistent with President Xi Jinping's speech at the Asia-Pacific Economic Cooperation (APEC) Business Leaders Summit in San Francisco earlier this month, which signifies China's high-level opening up. According to Liang, expanding the opening would make Chinese businesses more competitive and work against America's attempt to stop China's technological growth. In light of this, Zhu of the Shanghai Business School stated that whatever the next course of action was, it should involve the US and Japan, two other significant trading partners. Most analysts and experts have analyzed the action pragmatically, describing it as essential to win back foreign investors, quicken the nation's economic recovery, and improve people-to-people interactions, especially in light of the strained ties between the US and China. As part of the unilateral opening, China can treat Americans more kindly and make it simpler for professionals and businesses to enter the country, according to Zheng Yongnian, a political scientist at the Chinese University of Hong Kong, Shenzhen. In particular, we can examine travel and visas. Developed nations also use this kind of unilateral opening when they have unique demands in some areas, the government advisor stated last month at the Beijing Shongshan Forum. 2019 saw 3 million arrivals from the U.S. during the 48 daily round-trip direct flights between the two nations. Even when the number was increased ahead of the APEC summit, there were still only 70 direct flights per week as of November, and they were steadily falling. During the first half of this year, the number of journeys made by Chinese nationals who became foreigners was just 8.4 million, as opposed to 48.8 million during the same period in 2019. According to an editorial published earlier this month in China Trade News, an affiliate newspaper of the China Council for the Promotion of International Trade, China should take the initiative to open sectors to certain countries. The article stated, China should open up more to its major partners, even when our moves are yet to be reciprocated when deglobalization and protectionism are on the rise and supply chains splinter. The editorial also recommended putting policies in place in free trade zones to correspond with agreements reached in free trade negotiations with EU, Japan, Korea, and ASEAN officials.